Hello, my name is Brett Lynch. I'm the corporate chef for the Alaska Seafood Marketing Institute. And today we're going to feature a recipe with wild Alaskan black cod marinade in an Asian acacia marinade. What we're going to do is we're going to start off by making the marinade. We have the black cod here. It's already been filleted out. As we get the marinade going, we'll talk a little bit more about that. We have a fillet here and also a whole fish that's headed and gutted fish. And what we're going to do is we're going to make a very, very simple recipe that involves a very light marinade of acacia honey, soy sauce, grapeseed oil, and white vinegar. Lightly seasoned. We're going to do a very nice, simple stir fry of vegetables. This is a very easy recipe with a great flavorful impact that works very well with the wild, delicious, velvety, buttery black cod. So we'll start out with the marinade, and we're going to mix the acacia honey, which is a very bright and floral honey and can be substituted with any other real floral honey that's very sweet. We have a low sodium soy sauce and grapeseed oil. So in our marinade we've got the acacia honey, we have low sodium soy sauce, we have a very flavorful grapeseed oil, and we're going to finish it off with a little bit of white wine vinegar to really balance that sass, the sweetness, the acid, the saltiness. That way we really can hit all those points of our mouth with a balance of flavors, and it'll also season the fish real well. We're going to add some fine flake sea salt, and we're also going to add some black pepper. We really want to make sure this is a nice, salty, so we're almost brining the fish. One thing that I like to teach people when I'm brining or marinating fish is if I can drink the marinade, then if I can drink the marinade but not really choke on it, then it's going to be a good brine. But if I cannot drink it, then it's usually a little bit too salty for the product. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take the marinade and just lightly cover the black cod, and we're going to go ahead and let that marinate for 24 hours. What that marinade will do is give it a really nice, bright, mahogany color. So this black cod has been marinated for 24 hours, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to pop that on a baking tray, lightly oil sprayed baking tray. And we're going to oven roast this at 425 to 450 degrees for about 20 minutes. Most interesting thing about the black cod is it's a really beautiful substitution for bass or even halibut, depending on the availability. It's a very luxurious fish. The average fish weighs between 4 and 40 pounds. The average product that you're going to buy on the market, either as a whole fish, is around 10 pounds. You can buy the fillets pre-done, like you see here, or as a headed and gutted fish. The wild black cod fishery in Alaska is the largest black cod fishery and is a completely sustainable and managed fishery. The wild Alaskan black cod is available the end of February through mid-November as a fresh product, but is, because of a great sustainable fishery and constantly building and growing, it is now available year-round as a frozen product, which is a very, very well-handled, great product to work with in food service. The black cod is the largest fishery to export black cod to Japan. The Japanese market uses black cod as a delicacy for a lot of this style of marinated, slow roasted or smoked applications. And what we're going to do here is we're going to start cooking the stir fry portion of it. We're going to We're going to do a very simple, flavorful stir fry. And it starts off with a little bit of butter. And I want to make sure I get, because I'm starting off with butter in the wok, I started off with the wok not too hot because I want to make sure that I don't over brown that butter, and I want to get some good caramelization of my garlic in there. So I'm starting off with the butter just a little bit warm. We'll caramelize that a little bit. Get that nice caramelized flavor profile there. I'm going to add a little bit of nutmeg and just get that going, just toast it up a little bit. We're going to do, the recipe actually calls for pea vines or spinach, and we've really decided that we wanted to show you a really nice colorful plate today. We've added a couple fun ingredients of some carrots, some shiitake mushrooms, and some red bell peppers. I'm going to add just a little bit of water to that just to kind of slow the cooking process down a little bit. So I don't want to over caramelize that butter. I want to keep a nice good flavor in there. I'm going to drop the temperature down just a little bit more. We were talking a little bit about some of the Asian applications. Black cod's been one of those menued items that we're seeing grow in popularity due to its increased availability and knowledge in the industry. We're seeing, besides great Asian products with it, including it's a fabulous item as sashimi or as a sushi product from both fresh or frozen. But what we're finding is we're seeing a lot more Mediterranean because of its rich, buttery, flavorful texture. We really enjoy it, especially with the nice broth products, with nice broth on a plate, it oven roasted or pan fried. The black cod's very interesting. It is also called sablefish, which is its family name. It's also called butterfish, depending on really the region that it is around in Alaska. But what we're also finding is we're going to go and add some pea vines to this now. The black cod starts out as this really, the fish that we have here is actually a fresh one, and you notice it has a really nice pink hue to it. As the product cooks, it becomes just a beautiful pearly white fish. It's really, really lovely. When I'm asked to cook a nice meal for people, black cod is usually one of my favorites to cook because it is so unique and handles so well. A lot of times we'll take the product and you can actually just season it really nicely. It works very well on the barbecue. We usually cook it skin on because of its fat content. The fat content is very high in omega-3 fatty acids, so it's great for the nutritional benefit of the diet. It has about 15 grams of fat per 4-ounce serving, so it's definitely a rich and delicious protein source. So what we do is we got our veggies nice and caramelized now. We want to make sure we don't want to overcook those. Our fish should be just coming out of the oven in just a moment. I'm just going to add a little bit more moisture to this, cool the pan down just a little bit more. I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of salt and pepper to it. I'm going to go ahead and set this off to the side for a moment. Fabulous. We'll let that rest over here just for a second. One of the other unique points with this fish is it's very forgiving. When we go to cook black cod, it's one of those products because of the moisture and fat within the fish where other members of the cod family aren't loaded with fat. They're very, very lean. With this product, if you overcook it, it still stays very, very moist. So it works very, very well for food service, but what we find is we want to keep that skin on because in transportation, moving it around, it is a very delicate fish. And besides that, good attribute of the fat with the flavor profile and the omega-3s, it really adds to the plate presentation also. So let's go ahead and take a look and see how our fish is doing in the oven. Beautiful. It's getting some really nice brown hues to it. This fish can be, we usually bring the temperature up to about 140 degrees. It's really important to follow really the cooking curve when it goes to fish. We want to bring the temperature up, blast it, and really seal in the outside surface. What that does is it keeps those proteins when the product cooks to pump through the surface and create that kind of fatty bubbling on the top surface. We want to make sure it stays very clean. So searing it on the outside, bringing the temperature up to the point to where it's about 8 to 10 degrees under its finishing point of 140 degrees, and let it rest for a little while. Because what that does is it creates a bell curve. Keeps rising in temperature. Once it hits that hot point, you want it to just hit right there, and it will keep cooking as it comes out of the oven. We want it to drop off just at the right time where it finishes at 140 degrees. We're going to go ahead and start off with our nice pea vine mixture here. We're going to put that in the middle of the plate. We really want to try to, when we plate these items, we really want to try to make sure we're balancing our color. We want to try to get all the spectrum of the color throughout the item. So we really want to try to get green and reds and the nice mahogany brown of the fish. And like so many of our entrees today, there is no starch on the menu. We're really trying to, a lot of our consumers are really carb conscious. They really want to just have a really nice, flavorful piece of protein with a lot of veggies, still just that big flavor. It's very important. Got a real nice confetti of vegetables going on there. We're going to go ahead and take a nice piece of the black cod. And you can actually take it, I'm going to go ahead and plate it, and I scooped right under the skin, and the skin came right off of the product when I plated it. So I'm going to go ahead and lay that across there. But we want to take a little bit of this extra marinade and drizzle it on the plate. To really complement that sweet and savory of the fish. I'm going to take a little bit of sesame seeds, put it over the top. And there we have it, wild Alaskan black cod marinated with acacia honey.